Hello and thank you for joining. I'm so glad you can join me today. In today's episode of Lewis the Tech Guy, we're going to play around with a button. And what we're going to do is we're going to create this little button, and it's going to do a simple title change right here. As you can see, we're going to loop through that. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to start a new project. And we're going to wait for this to come up. We're going to say next. And we're going to title this Making a Button. Finish. We're going to use this new window. Just for fun, it started up on the other page. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to control all, and we're going to delete all this stuff, because that's what I like to do. I'm going to bring this down, and we're going to do our import. We're going to call material. Then we're going to call void main. And what are we going to call? We're going to return run app, right? And what we want to return is a material app. I don't know what I did there. Let's close that out, and we're going to turn a material app. And I don't know why I did that there. And for home, we're going to call home page class. And there you go. And you're saying, well, where is that class? Let's hover over this right here and have IntelliJ help us out. And IntelliJ is going to create that, and that's going to extend a stateful widget. And again, we're going to have IntelliJ help us out with all the boilerplate code. We might even fast forward through all this stuff. This thing is so darn finicky. I found that if you go to oh, where'd it go? Is it the end? Second end? There we go. Second end. It creates override, and what we're going to return is another class. So I'll make sure I'm not going to get rid of everything when I do that. The other class is going to be home page state, right? You said, well, where is home page state? Home page state, we're going to create that now. Here we go. Create home page state, which extends the state of home page. Again, we got to do another override method, which this is where we finally build our scaffold. Here we go. So our scaffold. All right, so all that boilerplate code. Let's create an app bar. We're going to call it app bar. And in the app bar, we're going to have a title, and the title is going to be of type text. And the text is going to say this is the title. All right, so let's save that and let's run it, so that way we can get our emulator going. And I'm going to kind of, oh look, it's right there. So let me kind of size this up while that's going. And as you can see, my old app is still running in there. So come on, here we go. Sometime today. I probably should have did this a little earlier. Well, while that's going, I'm going to add some stuff. So I'm going to add a body, and in that body I'm going to add a center, and in that center I'm going to call a flat button. Oh no, wait, sorry. Child, flat button, beautiful. And that's going to have a child, and we're going to say text, and the text is going to say, press me now. Ta-da. Alright, there you go, beautiful title. So this is the title. Let's do center title true. There we go, save. As you can see, that is our thing, and our button's there. But notice nothing happens with our button. And the reason nothing happens is because we don't have the onPress method called. So I'm going to do that, have our fat return here, and it's going to do a debug print, just so that way it was pressed. We're going to test if this button is working. It's always good that as you code, you test things as you go along. So now you see it is now bold, so to speak. You can see it. If you click on it, you get a little background reaction there. And down here we get it was pressed. So if I press it again, I get it was pressed over and over again, as you can see, as many times as I clicked it. All right. All right, so we want some color. Let's start there. We want some color, so we're gonna do color and colors that yeah, I don't know. Let's do pink, because I don't know, why not? Save, and there we go. Now this button isn't particularly pretty in terms of shape. We want to give it some roundness, if you will. So we're going to call the shape property, and on the shape property we're going to call rounded rectangle border, right? And for that we're going to call a border radius that takes a border radius, not only circular property, and here we're going to give it the radius that we want, and I'm just going to call it 10.0, save, and now we have these nice rounded edges. Now the lower you go, so let's say 2.0, the less rounded they are. The higher you go, the more rounded they are. I mean, look at that, that's pretty rounded. Let's leave it like that. We'll call this a little pill. So it says press me now, and you press it, you get the little reaction, nothing happens, you just get this debug print. Let's say you want something to happen, right? Let's say we want to change the name of this title. So let's come up here, and what we're going to do is inside our homepage state class, we're going to create a var, and we're going to call it title, and we're going to say this is the title, right? And so down here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to, in the text, we're going to say return text called title. Now control save, and you still have that, right? Okay, so down here on the on press in the Flutter button widget, if you will, we're going to create a, actually let's create the, let's create it first. So we're going to create a function, void, let's call it change title, right? And change title, what it's going to do is going to call a set state. So we're going to change the state of this variable called title, and it's going to say title now equals some new title, right? So we're going to do save, and wait, I didn't call it over here, so I got to call it down here, and we're going to say change title. So it calls the change title. So now we're going to hit save, and now when I press it, some new title. But there you go, that's all you're gonna get. So what we want to do is we want to create a list. So we're gonna instead do this. We're gonna create a list of string, type string. We're gonna call that title, and we're gonna say title equals the following variable. We're gonna use this, here we go, open end brackets, and we're gonna say it equals the following variables, and we're gonna say title 1, and just bear with me while I type this out, title 2, title 3, title 4, and title 5 for good measure. Alright, so, and I'm just gonna leave this blank for right now. So just to test this, what I want to do is I want to come in here and say call title, and if we want to call title 1, we're going to put a 0 in here because we're going to call the 0th index of this array, right? So I'm going to hit play, and hopefully title 1. There we go. All right, so now when I press this, nothing happens because it's going to call a change title, and in here there is nothing at all, nada. So what we want to do is, instead of just calling this, we want to put a variable in here so it can change every time we call it. So I'm going to create a variable, and I'm going to call it variable index, and I'm going to set this index to 0, right? So instead of putting 0 in here, I'm going to call index, right? So now I'm calling index. So if the index is 0, guess what's going to show up? I'm going to hit 0. So if I change the index here, it's going to go 0. If I do 1, now it'll call the first index. So it's 2. So this is 2. So this is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right. So what we want to do is every time we call it, we want to increase the index by 1. So we're going to do index plus 1. Okay? So I'm going to set this initially to 0, right? And let's see what happens. I'm sure some of you more advanced programmers can already see what's going to go wrong with this, but I'm going to let it happen anyways. I'm going to play it out. So hit play. All right, nothing's broken, hasn't crashed yet. Press 1, title 1, title 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got a big ugly problem. And the issue is that it is calling index 5, and there is no index 5. So what do we have to do? What we have to do is we have to make a conditional statement, and we have to check if index is greater than or equal to our title, the array title, dot length. And if it's not, then we could do index. If it is, I mean, then we have to reset it to 0. Else we can index plus plus. Right? Save. Again, I can see the more experienced programmers going, I see a problem with that, but let's do it just so you can see. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is title.length is 5 because there are 5 items in here. But if I call index 5, it doesn't exist, right? So it doesn't stop, right? So once this gets to 5, it's saying, well, it's not greater but it is equal to, so I should have stopped there. So I'll keep going. So what we need to do is we need to do -1, right? So I'm gonna hit play, and now let's try this again. Let's start it all over. And now when we go 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it resets to 0. So we go round, round, and round. All right, so that's been a long tutorial. I hope you found some value, some fun, some entertainment. Thank you for joining. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It means the world to me. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye.